It's your boy, Freelancer Joe, ready to once again get cracking. And what am I doing with this rack? How are you all doing on this fine and wonderful and glorious Wednesday afternoon? Yes, Wednesday, hump dar. We made it, folks. You and I, together. We're a team. Like this. We made it to hump day. What makes hump day so great? Well, hump day is so great because tomorrow is Thursday. And what makes Thursday so great? Well, it's Thursday. And also because Thursday is the day before Friday. And Friday is just friggin' awesome. Well, for the most part. Technically, Friday is the day where I do my hardest training. So I can't say I necessarily look forward to that. I'm not one of those guys that, live for training. I wish I was. I wish I was the kind of guy who had that kind of enthusiasm. But for me, it's the burden I pay for looking this good. That's about all it is. So, but yeah, it's a nice Thursday. Cloudy, overcast. Can't see any blue in the sky, but nice and cool. It's like what, low 70s, mid 70s. So it's nice. It is nice. And I will, of course, try to do my best to enjoy it because tomorrow it's going to get up to like 88. We're going to have afternoon, evening thunderstorms, which only translates to one thing. It's going to be a humid, muggy day tomorrow. And bleh. But we're not going to complain about things that haven't happened just yet. And we're not going to dwell upon them too much. So let's go ahead and set things up. So how y'all doing? Good? Fine? Fantastico? Bueno? I hope so. My day was good. Mostly good. It had good points. Good points, I should say. As you can tell, again, by the jackness. This is not the normal jackness. This is the normal post-training jackness. Nice training session. Decent enough day at work. About the really big negative is I didn't have the chance to chat with my honey bunny this morning. I actually didn't even get a message from her at all. And then yesterday we had to cut our morning chat short because she's so sweet. She had to take care of her mom who wasn't feeling well. So I'm kind of assuming that that's what happened today too, is that her mom still isn't feeling well. So, well wishes for her, and I certainly hope my honey bunny doesn't overdo it. She does have the tendency to. She's one of those types who kind of prioritizes the welfare of others over herself. Totally unlike Freelancer Joe, whose prime focus on comfort and caring is his self. Well, now my honey bunny too, but there are miles between us, unfortunately. For now. Anyway, so what do we got going here? We got editor up. We got camera up, obviously, because you can see this shining greatness. And we've got a terminal up. Let's take a look at the notes. I know what it is we're doing. You know what it is we're doing, unless you're just joining in. I guess that would be the case, but why would you do that? You should be watching every day. And notes to do, which, by the way, if it's I know of one particular screen reader assistive technology that will read to do as Toto, which is kind of cool. Yeah, and the doggies are barking because we got more people doing lawn work, and of course the dogs can't stand that. I can't stand anybody. Although I think they really don't like kids. Not sure why, but they really don't like kids. So we're doing the demo, adding explanations. Alright, so let's start up the demo. UI/UI-demo. And let's start it up. Yep. I'm not sure how much work I'm actually gonna put in on this one because I'm thinking of something. So I don't know if I may have hinted at this probably during the week, but it was a particularly catastrophic catastrophic weekend as far as my dietary regimen goes, and I'm still feeling the effects. Now, of course, when it comes to such matters where I tend to be my most weakest, and restraining myself when it comes to food is one of those things. Relying upon self-control and discipline just isn't the best way to go about doing things. So I'm trying to figure out, is there a better way to do it? So the Friday cheat went normally, fine, and it did work in so much that when I went shopping Saturday morning, I was still so stuffed that I didn't overdo it when I came to shopping either. A little bit, but not enough to negatively hamper me as much as it has for this week. I don't believe so. But what happened then was at the end of Saturday night, well, I had food to cook that I had gotten shopping. I was just too lazy to cook. And so I ordered some Chipotle, which was absolutely delicious, but also apparently very, very, very not good for me, surprisingly. Well, I mean, not surprisingly, but it has negatively impacted me so much that it's just, I don't want to repeat that again. I mean, based on what I'm seeing so far, I figure by the time Friday rolls around, I'll be back where I was last Friday, so technically that means that this week is a wash. But trying to improve, not just stay where I'm at. I mean, especially if I'm depriving myself, which I am for 5 to 6 days. Not technically, I will only have to restrain myself for 5 days. But that's the point, You go for 5 days, only eating one meal, and the only reason it tastes good is because you're so hungry at the end of the day. And it's even worse when I'm at work, because there's a lot of people in the building, and while I am the furthest point from the kitchen as possible, people are cooking food or heating up food, I should say, and getting food from 6 until 2. So Monday through Friday, from 6 until 2, I'm walking by, smelling all this good stuff, and I'm like, I can't eat that, can't eat that, can't eat that, can't eat that. And it wears away at even, someone made of granite will, such as myself. So, I don't know. Alright, so the big drawback was essentially that when it came to Saturday evening, I was too lazy to cook. How do we solve that problem? How do we solve that problem indeed? Well, let's think about that while we take a look at this. Alright, so we were adding tooltips, and we've added tooltips to this, and this, and this, and we've added tooltips to this, and this, and this. Okay, that's good. So that just leaves Charlito and the calendar. Now, Charlito is going to be easy because it's just the same as Alpha and Bravo. We just got to change some names. Calendar, on the other hand, a little bit trickier. I've actually been thinking about adding some new functionality too. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so we're gonna look at Charlito. Charlito is how I say it. Charlie. But I don't say Alphalito or Bravolito because Charlito is like Carlito. And Carlito is a good Spanish name. Spanish or Hispanic. Latino, whatever. I just like saying Charlito. Charlito. Okay, so what is the first thing we gotta do? First thing we gotta do is import the tooltip. Again, easy, no problem. Then we're gonna add the style for the tooltip. Easy, no problem. And then we're going to add the actual tooltips themselves. Oh, actually, no. First thing we're going to do is we're going to change the title to accurately reflect that they still need a tooltip, or that a tooltip is there. That's going to be good. And then now we can go ahead and add the tooltip. So first text field, right? We gotta add this next one. That's for the second text field. And you will notice that there's a bunch of red appearing. Here. And that's all a very nice way of the IDE, Integrated Development Environment, telling me that I have problems with my code. The problem being is that I didn't complete the tags, the tooltip tags. So now, let's go ahead and complete that. We'll copy the ending closing tag. I'm going to just go ahead and wrap that up. Wrapped. That was it, right? I got them all? No, dummy. Wrong place. Here we go. There we go. So let's save it and it'll do the reload thing. So what is the best way to absent-mindedly prevent yourself from overeating? Well, the issue isn't actually overeating for me, believe it or not. It's eating the wrong foods. And in theory, and I'm saying wrong foods, I'm primarily referring to carbs. If I just stuck with fats and proteins, I would maintain. In theory, if I ate too much of that, it would be possible for me to gain weight, but I'd have to really push myself. And in the case of my weekend schedule, I would be so full from Friday anyway that it's doubtful I could actually stuff that much into me. If I stuck with that correctly. The problem is, I mean, in my case, one, I didn't feel like cooking, and there aren't many places where you can order carb-safe meals. I mean, there is one place. So there's this place near me called Willard's, and that's they do a barbecue joint. They don't deliver, unfortunately. But yeah, for them, I mean, you could get like half a pound of like, pulled pork or brisket. I mean, that would do the trick, but they don't deliver. And there is a Famous Dave's that does deliver, but unfortunately, they don't do it like Willard's does. Willard's, I mean, you can order half a pound of meat, and that's it. They have no questions, right? But with Famous Dave's, because it's more like your standard chain, they're going to give you sides, and none of the sides are safe. Yes, in theory, I could order it and then not eat the sides, but that's stupid because I paid for it. And again, it's going to test the self-will, the self-control, which is, no, that's not going to do. So, here's what I'm actually thinking is probably the best choice. So if I do my shopping Saturday morning, that means I do have energy, at least at that particular point in time. If I started cooking, or if I cooked for dinner then, when I got back and after I finished unloading, then by the time evening rolls around and it's time for dinner, then I would have food. And I would have no point in ordering out, or at least I couldn't really justify it to myself. I mean, I could. I'm very convincing. But it'd be kind of hard for me to convince myself doing that too. Plus, I'd probably be smelling that food all day, so that's exactly all I want to eat. So then you ask yourself, though, Freelancer Joe, well, if you cook something in the morning, isn't it going to get cold in the evening? Ha ha ha, my friends. Not if you slow cook things. And by slow cook, I'm talking about crock potting that bad boy. And I do have I have two crock pots actually. One is the normal family size one, and one is kind of an individual serving one. The individual serving one, that was bought more on a lark, and it's not a bad idea really. What you do is kind of like you put in like one or two chicken breasts and then some vegetables, whatever. You flip it on in the morning when you go to work, and you come back, it's done. I like that too. I like that too. Certainly better than what I've been eating, taste-wise per se, but it's still work. And you factor in my normal work day. I mean, well, I get up pretty early and then I go to work. I put in my time, and then I got to come home and I got to train, and then I have to make this sweet, sweet content for you. So I want to cut corners where I can. And setting up a crock pot every day of the week, yeah. So I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to like wake up one morning and not feel like doing it. And then I'm going to come home and I'm not going to have any safe food to eat, and then I'll order out, and then that blows up everything. Can you believe that, really? It's like 1 24-hour period is enough to derail everything I accomplish over, or it takes me 6 days to undo what I did in 1 24-hour period. And it's not like I'm eating those entire 24 hours. At most, like, 2 or 3 hours. Not that I'm constantly eating for 2 or 3 hours. I mean, I'll eat and maybe watch something a little bit later, eat, watch something. But yeah. Okay, so that's the individual serving crock pot during the weekday. Forget that. But here's what I'm thinking, right? So I go do my morning shopping, and I get maybe like a pound or two of meat. You're talking like ground beef or chicken or nice pork loin. And then you throw that in the crock pot, because I get back in the morning, with some seasoning, whatever, and you put it on slow. So that'll take like 6 to 8 hours. I usually go with 8 to 10 just to make it like really tender. So during that entire time period, though, of course, it's cooking and cooking and cooking, and then the apartment starts smelling really good if I do the seasonings right. So I think that might be the approach to do. I mean, it sounds right, doesn't it? It seems right. It seems reasonable. Because then let's say if it's... but the question is how much? I know 1 to 2 pounds of meat sounds like an awful lot, but for me it's not. I can clear 1 pound easy in a day. In fact, when I was doing... For a long time there, I was actually doing a... I hadn't fully cracked the whole weight loss thing. So I was like, whatever. Okay, if I'm going to gain weight or, be fat, you know what? I'm going to eat like I'm trying to gain muscle and train really hard. So I was going through, at the supermarkets, they sell those 5-pound logs of beef, ground beef, right? So I would go through 2 of those a week and like a pot of brown rice every day. So, I mean... And after work, I would stop at Chipotle to get a double steak burrito with brown rice. Needless to say, I did actually gain a lot of weight, but I also got pretty strong too. And I would say, at least on the deadlift side, compared to where I was then, I lost about like 30% of my strength compared to where I was before on that. For squats, only about a quarter, so that's not so bad. Bench press, actually, I didn't lose that much at all. Like maybe 10-15%. So it's a big, massive chest, That's not going anywhere anytime soon. Back's always been a problem. But we're supposed to be working instead of talking about my diet. I really should save those kinds of discussions for Drinks with Joe. Alright, so we're looking at Charlito. Okay, here we go. We got the tooltips. Field maintains value changes as long as the page is navigated away from. That's true. This field maintains value changes regardless of navigation. Alright. And this field reflects changes on the alpha page. Okay, so first of all, this needs to change to Bravo. And so this is right, left, right. We'll change it back to left, right, left again so we have some nice alternating things. And let's verify that this stuff actually works. Charlie State. Oh, and we also Charlie App. And this is also, we shouldn't make this should be disabled. Okay. So let's check to make sure that this default, let's change it back to the default, and that this retains itself. So we go back here, change the default, this is retained. Okay, so left, right, left, changes this to Charlie, and change that tooltip to Charlie, and make this field disabled. Alright, so left, right, left, 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 right, left, and Charlito. I should rename it to Charlito just because it has that flair, that Freelancer Joe touch, you know. And maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. Of course, this means I have to come up with. Well, I mean, I do have plenty of. Not plenty of slow cooker recipes. There's lots of them, But naturally, most of them throw on like potatoes and things, which are really good, but not what I'm going for. I mean, I've done crock-pot chili, crock-pot barbecue chicken, not, you know, like southern barbecue, really good barbecue, but like northeastern close enough barbecue. Sorry, mid-Atlantic, technically. And I've even done adobo chicken. No, it was adobo pork, actually. I should refine that recipe. I really should. And you know what? That might actually give me added incentive to go with the crockpot stuff. Experimenting with recipes. There's a reason for that. I'm not exactly at liberty to share with just yet, but I think that might be something for me to consider. Maybe. Aw, did the camera freeze again? Yes, the camera froze again. Camera closed. Let's see if it comes back. Yeah, alright, we're back. I don't know when that froze. I wasn't paying attention. Always on top? Always on top. Okay. Alrighty, alright. Get that down now. And go take a look at this. Charlito. Bravo fields disabled. It says, sorry. I should have said Bravo, not Alpha. So, we'll also go ahead and take care of the indenting. So that's fine. You go in. You're alright. Get rid of that space. You're alright. Space. In. Tab. You're alright. See, this is what happens when I'm thinking about food. Not surprising as we're getting closer to the end of the week. I mean, it's only Wednesday. But for me, it's only 48 hours away from my cheat meal. See, that's how much I think about food. That's how much I restrain myself. Alright, so that should go. I mean, the only other thing I think more about than food is my honey bunny, which goes to tell you how much I think about my honey bunny. I do hope she's alright. I'm pretty certain she's alright. Like I said, she's always so thoughtful, taking care of other people. Too busy to send me a message. I'm just kidding. Technical difficulties always occur. I think we in the West kind of take things for granted as far as internet connectivity and power and things like that. Power by I mean electricity, but I suppose also power in general too. Now the real question, though, of the many real questions I have, I mean, most people will say like, "Why are we here?" and blah blah blah. It's like I know why we're here, so that's no real question. I guess my big concern with that crockpot approach. So here's the risk, right? If that crockpot recipe doesn't turn out good, then I might feel deprived. And if I feel deprived, I will be tempted to wear out again. And then we throw in the self-restraint issue. Yeah, I think there's no way around that. At some point, I do have to employ a modicum of self-restraint. I guess maybe if I just cook enough food that that common sense and practicality will outweigh the emotional nature. I like to think I'm fairly level-headed and even-headed when that comes to that sort of thing. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to give it a shot. All right, did it come up? Let's see, it compiled successfully. Let's see if it's here. Oh, we should have checked to see if the Charlie change worked out here. Okay. All right, so we got Charlie, Bravo. Okay, this is Bravo, right? So we're gonna change Charlie app to Charlie app. We'll change Bravo to Bravo app. And let's go to Alpha, and it should say Charlie app, which it does. And we'll go to Charlito, and it should say Bravo app, which it does. All right. I think we're fine with the tooltips. I'm still not sold on the messages, though. I don't know if I'm thinking I should number these. Like, you know, Alpha 1 and Alpha 2 and Alpha 3. Bravo 1, Bravo 2, Bravo 3, that kind of thing. I don't know. Depends if my verbiage isn't clear enough. And that's something to think about. As good as I am with words and loquation, sometimes I don't think I'm quite as clear as I should be. I have to think about that. But we are about at the 30-minute mark. Not 30 minutes of work, because I spend most of the time talking about food. But we are about at the 30-minute mark now as far as this episode goes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you for joining me. Cool kid words about liking and subscribing, commenting, and suggesting. I certainly hope you will join me tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to go revisit whether or not I should rename those things or move on to the calendar stuff. Well, I guess we'll find out. We'll find out. Cool kid words. Hope you join me tomorrow. And until the next time you join me, I hope that you take care and God bless.